I think you might have made more of an effort at your great-grandfather's funeral.
Grandee wouldn't have cared less. You remember Auntie Mary's funeral?
Oh, those shorts are all right. It was them pink socks that set everyone off.
And that little dance, of course, that she did.
Yes, very funny, I'm sure. But these occasions should be conducted with more dignity.
Well, I thought it was a very nice funeral.
It was pretty unique, Gill.
I was so embarrassed. If he hadn't have been my father, I should have left.
Why, I thought Sid did quite a good job. He got all the audience singing along.
It's not an audience, it's a congregation. Anyway, there should have been a priest to keep order.
What for? I think Terry from the Three Feathers did an excellent job.
We should be a laughing stock.
Yeah, and I bet that's what Grandee wanted.
What? For us to be the laughing stock of the whole town? Unfortunately, the whole town turned up.
Yes, they lined the streets when the hearse went past.
I saw some women crying. I wonder how he knew them.
God knows. I can't imagine how well these people outside the crematorium can have known my father. Did you see those with the strange hairstyles?
Punks.
What?
They were punks. Grandee was thinking about getting a spiky haircut. It was all the rage a few years ago.
If you say so, but they are not the sort of people we wish to be associated with. I have a certain position in this community.
He was loved by many people, Dad. All types and colours.
You see, he did have a position in the community.
Yes, but not an official one.
Well, no, he wasn't elected. He was loved.
Grandee could have gone into politics if he'd wanted. He could have been Prime Minister.
Oh, my God, what an awful thought.
What a wonderful thought. He'd have soon livened up Westminster.
Yeah, he could have hung one of those infamous pictures in the Commons lobby.
Don't even mention those pictures. They should have been relegated to the scrap heap where they belong.
More likely than not, he left instructions with Jones and Simpson. They're the executors. Mrs. Simpson will be here tomorrow at 2:30 to read the will. That should be a laugh.
Yes, no laughing matter. Great-grandfather Desmond left a great deal of money accumulated throughout his long life.
Desmond! It's a good job he's not around to hear you call him that. He'd soon give you a clip round the ear.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time either.
Yes, thank you. He had a good innings. He was nearly 94.
Yeah, I suppose so, but it was still a bit of a shock. He was so healthy until lately.
It was that month's holiday in Jersey that seemed to really drain him.
Yeah, he wasn't the same when he came back.
Desmond was a remarkable man.
D! He hated people calling him Desmond.
Well, yes, but he no longer rules us. He's gone now.
That doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't respect his wishes.
All right, if you insist. Grandad D.
Grandee. We always called him Grandee.
Well, does it really matter anymore?
Yes, it does. There must have been 300 people at the funeral and they all called him D.
Well, perhaps there were, but I'm his son.
Yes, and you should respect his wishes more than any of us.
All right. But why wasn't I made the executor of his will? Or at least you, David.
I'll tell you why, shall I? Because you couldn't be trusted not to turn it all into a bloody bore.
Really? Well, that's what funerals are supposed to be, surely.
Not my great-grandfather's funeral. Nothing he ever did was boring. Was it, Gemma?
No.
Are you all right, love? You're very quiet.
Yeah, I just can't believe Grandee's gone. He was always there for us when we needed him.
Yeah, do you remember when those bullies tried to steal our mobile phones and he just turned up out of the blue and scared them off? And what did he say, as usual?
Never
fear, Grandee's here.
Do you remember the time I fell off my horse and I broke my wrist and he came and he scooped me up and he was like, "You'll soon be back on horse again." And I was like, "No way." And then he said,
Never fear, Grandee's here.
That's right. He always said the same thing to me.
He never said it to me.
now he's never going to say it again.
Never mind, it comes to us all in the end.
I must say, I never thought it would come to him. I thought the old fool would last forever.
Well, he can't be that much of an old fool if you say he left a lot of money. Now, how did he make his money? Come on, surely you can tell us now.
Yeah. What's all this secrecy about?
One isn't necessarily proud of some of the antics your great-grandfather got up to.
You mean Prick and the Scroats?
Hang on. Is that P-R-Y-K?
It certainly is.
Fantastic! I've got their first album, it's brilliant. But what happened to Prick and how did Grandee make money out of a way-out punk band like the Scroats?
No, look, I don't think we want to go into that now.
I disagree. You tried to stop him talking about it while he was alive. Now he's gone, you won't stop me.
Nor me.
Stop doing what? Will somebody tell us, please?
Your great-grandfather was Prick of the Scroats.
Grandee was? Never. How?
Well, he just was.
Unfortunately, Stuart, your great-grandfather went a bit, well, shall we say, funny when he retired.
I disagree. That's a bit unfair. He was successful. He had a #1 album.
Yes, and all of it filth. Continual references to private parts and bodily emissions.
Well, I don't know how you know that. You said you'd never listened to it.
I never did. Well, one day it was on the player when I turned it on, but I didn't listen to it on purpose.
I knew you just couldn't help but listen to it.
Hang on. I've seen the video of that Skid Marks track. Surely that isn't Grandee.
Just think about it. Take off the false beard, the nose ring and the tattoos, and underneath you've got your great-grandfather.
You know, I thought he looked a bit familiar. But why did he give up then when he was such a tremendous success?
Well, he did that one concert in Hyde Park and then decided that he'd done it all. He took off the makeup and retired. Nobody knows who he was or where he went, except for us.
People said he died in a plane crash.
Or on a motorbike.
Or an overdose or suicide. I know. The press went mad looking for him.
They still do. One newspaper said he'd found God and he was off in a monastery somewhere.
Oh, that is the most ridiculous of the theories. My grandfather's father never believed in anything. Miracle I'm such a good Christian.
Yeah. Well, anyway, to be honest, I think he made up some of those rumours himself. He loved reading about them.
Cosmic. My grandfather was the prick. If only I'd known.
Stuart, I'm warning you, you must keep this a secret forever.
Why? Surely Larry's dead, it doesn't matter.
But think of the family and our good name.
What good name? Grandee ruined that years ago at the art gallery.
What happened at the art gallery?
Dad will tell you all about it. I've got a hot date. See you all later.
Bye, darling.
Don't worry about that girl, you know. But I must be going now. There's much to do after a bereavement.
See you tomorrow at the will reading, Dad.
I tell you this, David, I'm dreading it. Who knows what will emerge from his iniquitous past?
Oh, don't worry, Dad. There can't be much we don't already know.
Let us hope so, David. But I fear new and shocking revelations. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Dad.
Mum,
Yes?
tell us about the art gallery.
Do you know, that was so funny. But no, I've got things to do, places to be. I'll let your dad tell it.
Come on, Dad. What's the big secret?
No secret, son. Half the town saw it.
Saw what?
Well, where to start? You know, Grandee was director of a bank. He went there when he left school, he spent a lot of his life there, and he worked his way up to the top.
I know all this.
What you don't know is that he hated it.
Well, why didn't he leave then?
No, look. It's the way it was in those days. You got a job and you're stuck with it. His grandfather was unemployed for years in the 30s. People had a very hard life and Grandee was not going to let that happen to his family.
But what about the art gallery?
Yeah. Well, when he retired, he realised how much he'd missed out on in life. dealing with finances in a stuffy office, maintaining a serious demeanour at work while being good fun at home.
Yeah, but what about the art gallery?
Yeah, well, coming to that. Well, when he retired, he decided he'd catch up on all the things he'd missed out on, and he was a very lively man at 65.
But what about the art gallery?
Well, one of the first things he did was pose for the local art students.
So?
In the nude.
He never.
Yeah?
Well, so what?
Well, you see, your grandfather had just been made a councillor, and he'd been given the honour of opening the new art gallery in the leisure complex. Guess what was the first thing everybody saw hanging on the wall?
A painting of Grandee in the buff.
No. 30 of them. Full frontal. They was a very avant-garde group. Nothing was left out. In fact, I'm pretty certain one or two things were exaggerated. He was a very distinctive man with his big beard and eyebrows. Of course, everybody recognised the ex-bank director. Grandma June fainted, she had to be sat down, brought round with smelling salts. Grandad nearly had a heart attack, but luckily the exhibition was only on for the one weekend.
Oh, that was lucky. So they all just disappeared then, never to be seen again?
Afraid not, you see. They was up for sale and most of them sold, believe it or not.
So there are paintings of Grandee in the nude all over town?
Afraid so. I've never seen any, but they must be somewhere. Your great-grandmother Elizabeth bought half a dozen of the most explicit and put them in the attic. Of course, he wanted to hang them in the hall, but she put her foot down.
Really? Are they still there? Can I have one?
On earth do you want one of them for?
Well, you see, when I finally get a place of my own, I'll have it hanging above the fireplace. It'll be a great talking point. Think about it. How many people will have a picture of their great-grandfather nude hanging above the fireplace?
No. I honestly think I can say you'll be unique.
Come on, what else did he do?
Well, he spent the next 20 years trying to catch up on all the things he'd missed out on.
Did he chase women?
No, he was devoted to Grandma. As far as I know, he never looked at another woman. When she died, perhaps he looked about a bit, but he'd calmed down by then.
He curtsied at the Queen, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a terrible thing he did. It was on the papers and on the TV.
What did he do it for?
Well, I don't know really. He just said he was bored with all those men bowing and scraping.
Did you say anything?
If you look at the TV coverage, she looks a bit amazed and shocked at first. And then he looked at her and said, "Oh, that was a bit of a change, wasn't it?" And laughed in that infectious way of his, and she couldn't help but laugh too. Then the Queen said something to him, but he never would tell us what it was. Of course, all the councillors, including your granddad who were mayor, were absolutely furious.
Good old Grandee. I'll blame the councillors. They shouldn't have let him anywhere near the Queen.
Yeah, well, you see, they didn't really. Grandad was mayor, Grandee was his father. He just sort of tagged on, and nobody was brave enough to tell him to go.
Good old Grandee. Oh, I bet Grandad went ballistic.
Yeah. So much so that when he was presented to the Queen, he couldn't speak and he forgot to bow. That was in the papers and on the local TV too. I'll tell you what, I've got it on VHS. I'll put it over to DVD so you can watch it. Now, Grandee must have told the Queen he was the mayor's father because she looked at him and laughed. Grandad went into a monumental sulk and he wouldn't speak to him for a month. Mind you, he wouldn't speak to anyone else either.
Oh, I wish I'd been old enough to know Grandee better. You know, when I get old, I'm going to be just like him.
My nightmare, son, knowing his genes are in you.
And he was so cool. Come on, what else did he do?
No, that's enough for now. I've got to get on. Look, there'll be plenty more come out now that he's gone.
I can't wait.
You'll never know how much I really care. Listen, do you want to know a secret? Do you promise not to tell? Whoa, closer. Let me whisper in your ear. Say the words I love to hear. I'm in love with you. Closer. Let me whisper in your ear. Say the words I love to hear. I'm in love with you. Oh, I've known the secret for a week or two. Nobody knows just who it is.
Oh, come along, David. Mrs. Simpson will be here soon, and get yourself dressed.
I am dressed.
Well, hardly in the style one would expect at the will reading of a loved one, particularly one with so much money and property to bestow.
Mrs. Simpson will have to take me as she finds me. After all, she's working for me and not me for her.
You know, David, there's more than a touch of your grandfather in you.
I do hope so.
Come on, Dave, are you going to get ready?
Ah, that's just what I was telling him, Gillian. His appearance leaves a lot to be desired.
Oh, that's what you were telling him, were you? In that case, you look fine, Dave.
So why I bother to speak?
You'll get no arguments from us.
Now, come on, children. Play nicely. On today of all days.
Well, I think we should act as Grandad would have expected.
Good heavens, I hope we behave more in keeping with the occasion. After all, I am his one and only son.
So you say?
What do you mean by that?
Think about it. You don't look like him, you don't sound like him, and you certainly don't act like him.
You don't act like him or grandmother either.
How dare you? My mother was a virtual saint.
Well, you don't take after her either, then.
You know, perhaps they found you on the doorstep, you know, a foundling.
Certainly not. What a suggestion. And for my own son, disgusting.
Well, sometimes I wish I'd been found on a doorstep too.
You would have still been there, he'd never have taken you in.
Oh, you would, wouldn't you, Dad?
I should have thought about it very carefully. Knowing what I know now, I would have run the necessary council department to take you away.
From my own father.
That was one of my jokes.
Oh, sorry, Daddy. It's always difficult to recognise one of your jokes.
I mean, they're so rare.
Oh, it's still like a couple of kids. It's time you grew up.
Is this face better for the will reading, Dad?
Oh, I give up.
Oh, if only.
Morning, all.
Oh, my God, look at you two.
We're looking a bit tasty, aren't we, Grandad?
Not the word I would have chosen.
Your Grandad's not in a very good mood this morning.
There's a surprise.
Oh, don't be rude to your granddad.
No, Gemma. Let me do it.
Don't bother. I've got some cause to make. Let me know when Mrs. Simpson arrives.
You know, I was thinking. Can't imagine Christmas without Grandee, can you?
No, it won't ever be the same again, will it?
No, thank goodness. For once we can have a normal family Christmas with no surprises.
Like marijuana in the Christmas pudding along with the brandy.
Do you know something? He must have snuck in there when I wasn't looking. He reckoned he was going to give the pudding a stir for luck, crafty old devil.
You must admit, it certainly turned Christmas Day into a rave.
It was Dad's fault. Tried to limbo under the table. That caused all the trouble.
You were lucky you didn't have to have stitches in the eye.
Who cares about his eye? Did you see my kitchen? Mince pies all over the place, wine, beer. God, what a mess, and all the fault of your Grandee.
I took hell of a bang on that eye, you know. I couldn't feel a thing. I don't remember anything about that Christmas.
Really? That's just because you had 3 helpings.
Did I?
Yes, you did, Dad. You were totally stoned.
Oh, it's a shame there'll be no more Christmases like that.
I know, but it would be nice to think that we can be a normal family.
Oh, Jill, you make it sound as though you're glad he's gone.
Of course I'm not. I loved him. Everybody loved him. You couldn't help it, but you must admit it would be nice to think that things might get back to normal.
Quite right. No more crocodiles in the bath.
I could do without that. I tell you, I nearly had a heart attack.
Oh, Mum, it was only a little one. And even you had to laugh afterwards.
Oh, I know you couldn't help laughing at the silly old devil, but I mean, where did he get a crocodile from?
His mate Jack. He breeds them. And he was only looking after it for a couple of days, and when you think about it, the bathtub was the only place to keep it, really.
Yeah, but I noticed he didn't keep it in his bathroom.
Well, he wouldn't, would he? Anyway, I can't sit around here. I've got stuff to do. What? Can't I go?
No.
Oh, you can give me a call when Mrs. What's-her-name gets here.
Grandee specifically said he wanted you at the hearing, so you have to stay.
All right, I only asked.
Anyway, Mrs. Simpson should be here in 10 minutes, so, any ideas what she's going to say? I mean, do you think she's going to come out with any surprises? Perhaps we all ought to be a little prepared to be shocked.
You bet. He's not going to let an opportunity like this pass, is he? Mind you, can't think what it's going to be.
You never know with him, but I'm sure he won't let us down.
Let us down? It was his mission in life to let us down at every opportunity possible. Oh dear, I'm getting very stressed now just thinking about it. I'm going to go and make a fresh cup of coffee.
Mum, I think we're going to need something a little stronger than coffee.
Oh, you two shut up and behave yourselves.
The trouble is, Mum, we've never really had a very good example of decorum to follow, did we, Stu?
No, Gemma, I'm afraid we never did.
Oh, I
It's a good idea. Let's have some coffee. How about something to nibble? Nothing much, perhaps a cheese and onion sandwich.
You've just had your breakfast.
I had a round of toast and marmite.
All right.
Oh, we should both be sitting here all miserable and crying because we've lost our Grandee, you know.
Yeah, and I do feel sad, but whenever I think of Grandee, I just can't help but smile.
I know, me too. So hard to feel sad with a big grin on your face.
We were lucky, weren't we?
What, to have Grandee?
Yeah, I mean, what kind of childhood would we have had without all those stories he told us?
Yeah, but do you think they were true?
Who knows with him? And in the end, what did it matter? With Grandee, anything was possible. But I'm sure he never really had his hand chopped off.
He did have that big scar on his wrist where he said they sewed it on again.
Yeah. What about the bullet hole in his shoulder?
He reckoned an Egyptian did it somewhere or other.
Suez. Yeah, I read up about it after he told us. 1956, defending the Suez Canal. That really happened.
Yeah, but did he really get shot there?
Oh, God, the bullet hole might be a story, but the fighting at the Suez Canal, that wasn't.
It's the trouble with Grandee's tales, isn't it? There's always a grain of truth in there somewhere.
Or they're all the truth. You never know.
Look what I brought down from the loft earlier.
What's that then?
But it's just some of old junk that Grandee left behind.
Oh, Grandee's stuff. Let's have a look. Hello. What's this? Rudy Noody.
Let's have a look.
I'll take them, thank you very much. You shouldn't be looking at them.
I don't know why. They're not as porny as them page 3 girls.
I suppose you're right, really. Do you know, when Grandee bought these back in Paris in 1945, these were considered very racy.
Amazing. Oh, is this Grandee in uniform?
The bold warrior.
What, was he an officer? Are those his medals?
Yeah, look, he's got a tin full of them.
What did he get those for?
I don't know, he never said.
I don't believe that. He was always full of tales about everything he did.
Yeah, if he'd have been a hero, we'd heard all about it.
Yeah, he'd have defeated the whole German army and killed Hitler all by himself.
Yeah, and without any help from those Americans. Now, I'm sure if these medals were real, he'd have boasted about it.
Well, that's where you're wrong, isn't it? Because real heroes don't boast about what they do.
What, so you think he was a real hero?
I know he was.
How do you know that then?
Well, because me and your dad have read the citations.
Citations?
Yes, it's a list of events that lead up to why they got the medals.
Oh, so he didn't tell you himself then?
No, quite the opposite. In fact, we read about it, we found them. I've never seen Grandee so embarrassed in my life. He took the papers away from us and said we were never to talk about it again.
Why do you say that then? Were they embarrassing?
No, well, only to a real hero. It was something he was very private about.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it looking at this. It's like Grandee in the nugget.
Go on, get a look. God, I can see why Grandad was so upset about these. Oh my God. Here's another one.
Oh, Grandee's bits are even bigger in this. Oh, I see why. This one was painted by a woman.
This one was painted by a man.
Yeah, she exaggerated a bit.
Or perhaps not.
What? You never saw Grandee?
No. It's just that I know that your great-grandmother Elizabeth bought these ones, which were the more modest ones.
Go, Grandee.
Anyway, come on, let's put them back before your granddad gets here.
Can I have one?
Oh, you perv.
Oh, shut up, you.
We'll see. Put them back.
Oh, look, here's one of Grandee looking really smart in his uniform.
Yes, he was a captain, you know, until he.
Until what?
It doesn't really matter.
Come on, what did he do? He did something, didn't he?
Come on, Mum. We're entitled to know about the skeletons in the family closet.
Yeah, you may as well tell us. I'll just get it out, Dad.
Get what? What out? Get one out of him. If it's money, you can forget it.
Yeah, we'll talk about the money later. What we want to know now is why did Grandee stop being a captain?
Ah, Grandad, stop it. Oh no. He left the army.
Yeah, we've worked that out. Why did he leave?
The war was over.
And?
Oh, that's it. It was over.
No, it wasn't. Something happened. Come on, you might as well come clean.
Oh, you may as well tell them. I mean, everybody's dead now.
We were sworn to secrecy.
Secrecy!
Oh, you're going to tell us now.
Well, keep it to yourselves, right?
Keep what to ourselves?
Listen. Grandee fought from D-Day to the German border. He joined the army in 1940 as a private and he ended up as a captain. As you can see, he was a great soldier. When peace was declared, him and a few others decided to celebrate a bit.
Grandee was great at celebrating. Do you remember last Christmas with the blow-up banana?
Yeah, very good. Now, do you want to hear this tale or not?
Sorry.
For some reason, best known to himself, Grandee decided to chop down the flagpole at the German army base. He said this Union Jack should not be hanging on this Nazi pole.
Why was it a Nazi pole?
Because they had just taken over a German army camp. But that's not important. He got the fire axe and he cut the pole down to tremendous cheers from the rest of the troops.
Is that it then? It doesn't sound very much.
Well, not exactly. You see, the adjutant, a certain Major Frisbee Smythe, much disliked by the entire regiment, and especially by Grandee, decided to intervene. He shouted he would have him court-martialed, conduct and becoming an officer. He was disgusted and he could consider himself under arrest.
Oh dear.
Exactly. Grandee let rip. He told this creep he'd fixed it so he'd never ever been under fire. He'd stayed safe at headquarters while good men had gone forward and died. He told him he was a bloody coward and he'd gone through the entire war without even blancoing his own belt.
Oh, blancoing?
Look, Like how your mum cleans your shoes. They put it on their belt in the army, but apparently a Frisbee Smythe had a Batman to do that for him.
He made Batman polish his belt. Is that it then?
No. Grandee decided he's going to do a bit of blancoing himself.
I'm not with you.
He knocked Frisbee Smythe down, dropped his trousers in front of the regiment, and blancoed his private parts until they shone.
Good old Grandee! I bet that showed him.
You might laugh, but in the military, this is a serious offence. Striking a superior officer, conduct unbecoming a regiment, blah, 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 court-martial at best, perhaps even jail.
Did Grandee go to jail?
Well, Frisbee Smythe wanted him to stand court-martial, a dishonourable discharge and jail, but the regiment decided to hush it up if Grandee would resign his commission and leave.
Why would they hush it up, though?
Well, you see, old Frisbee Smythe was the second cousin to the king, and they didn't want the bad publicity.
Great! My great-grandfather polished the king's cousin's balls. There's not a lot of people who can say that.
I'm sure there's not a lot of people that would want to.
You know, the more I hear about Grandee, the more I love and admire him.
You know, you take after him, unfortunately.
What about me?
Oh, you do in a strange sort of way.
Yeah, it's mostly the beard.
That'll be Mrs. Simpson, Olga. No, be on your best behaviour.
Gemma, go fetch Grandad.
Grandad!
What? Everyone on their best behaviour?
Just like little angels.
Oh, that'll be the day.
Mrs. Simpson.
Ah, Mrs. Simpson, welcome.
It's Miss, or if you must, Ms. Yes, an unmarried woman.
A spinster.
Of this parish.
Exactly.
Couldn't find the right man, eh?
Well, just look around you. Mind you, Desmond was one man you could lose your heart to.
Here we go again. All men pale in comparison compared to Grandee.
Quite right.
Yeah, and when you see this, you can understand why.
Stuart, how dare you? Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Simpson. You must be shocked.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. I'm not easily shocked. It's, to deal with Grandee for all the years I did, one had to have a certain amount of flexibility. Where on earth did this picture come from?
There's another one here. Incredible. Yeah, that is the more incredible one.
Stuart!
It's all right, it's all right. It's just that one doesn't see this sort of thing very often.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it before.
I beg your pardon.
Well, I mean, there are about 30 of them floating around the town.
Really? Where are they now?
Gone up in smoke, I hope, where they belong. I shall destroy these two.
Over my dead body.
Miss Simpson, really?
Well, why on earth would you want to destroy them? I mean, he was such a fine figure of a man. You don't know where I could get one.
Why would you want such a thing?
It's because she's an art lover.
Yeah, well, I'm having this one. I can make you a digital copy if you want.
Really? That's very good of you. You won't forget, will you?
No, I won't forget.
I'm quite happy to pay any costs.
I'll take this one, thank you.
You really won't forget, will you?
Oh, go and do it now.
Look, can we get on with the bill reading?
Yes, quite right. Enough of this small talk.
Small?
Can we clear this table, please? Right. Now, are all the interested parties here? Harold Thompson, son.
Present.
David Montgomery Thompson, grandson.
Here.
Gillian Thompson, wife of the aforesaid.
Yes, miss.
Stuart Desmond Thompson, great-grandson.
Here!
Gemma Tracy Thompson, great-granddaughter.
Yeah.
Olga Mishka Thompson, wife.
What? Great grandma's name was Olga. Why didn't you tell me that?
Quiet! I've never heard such goings on. And it's a will reading too. Now sit down and conduct yourselves in a proper manner.
You see, Mrs. Simpson.
Ms.
Sorry. You see, Ms. Simpson, my father has been a widower for some years.
Well, perhaps he was until just over a month ago when he married Miss Olga Mishka Petrova in the Weymouth Registry Office. Where is she? She was informed and asked to be here at 2:30.
Don't look at me, this is the first I've heard of her.
Didn't he go down to Weymouth when he was going across to Jersey?
The crafty old devil! He got married!
And then he went on his honeymoon.
Look, this is not a good reason for merriment. That woman has obviously married Grandee for his money. I shall contest the will, of course, Miss.
There is no point. I drew it up myself and it is ironclad. Besides which, I have here a prenuptial agreement that the new Mrs. Thompson waives all rights to the estate.
You see, Grandee was no fool. He wouldn't let some tart con him.
That, David, is a matter of opinion. Right, can we get on now with the business in hand? I don't have such a high opinion of Grandee.
Well, I'm afraid not. We cannot proceed without Olga Thompson. She is mentioned in the will. Ah, that is perhaps her now.
I'll get it! 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 I'll get it!
I am home.
Listen, do you want to know a secret? Do you promise not to tell? Whoa, closer.
I have to inform you, young ladies, that there will be no monetary gain in your association with my father, so you may as well absent yourself forthwith.
What does he say? Is this English?
Yeah, look, basically, there's no money, so, but hop it.
Hop? What is this hop?
Can we please get on with the proceedings?
Yes, very well, as long as you understand it is under protest. This foreign woman has obviously married Grandee for his money.
I am offensive by this. I am offering Grandee £5,000 for to marry me.
You offered him money? What a stud!
You offered my grandfather £5,000 to marry you?
This is true.
But why?
So that I am getting the British passport.
Aha. So now we get to the truth. It was all an immigration scam. You gave him financial inducement to marry you. This is obviously illegal, so we can have the marriage annulled.
No, Grandee would not take the money. He is a wonderful man, with very big principles.
We know, we've seen them.
Stuart! Olga, would you like to tell us exactly what happened?
Quite enough, thank you.
Oh, shut up, Dad, and let Olga explain.
I think that is a very good idea. Olga, the floor is yours.
I do not want the floor. What will I want with a floor?
What I mean to say is, would you like to explain about you and Desmond Thompson? Grandee.
Ah, Grandee. Well, you see, I am coming here from Russia and I want to make new life for myself in England. But the immigration man is saying to me, no, no, you must go home.
Quite right, Sue.
Please, Mr. Thompson.
So my family are putting together £5,000, and this man, he said he will find a man for me to marry. I don't like this man. He has many tattoos and is always looking at me and breathing very much.
I can understand that.
I don't like such a man. Like a minky.
Oh, do you mean monkey?
Ah, yes, monkey man.
Well, it's nice to know you have at least a modicum of taste.
Mr. Thompson!
I'm working in McDonald's, and I'm meeting Grandee many times. He's very funny man, and he has a sparkle in his eye. I think perhaps maybe I'm asking him to join with me.
These are disgusting revelations that I find difficult to listen to.
What, that she wanted to marry Grandee?
No, that a father of mine would regularly go into McDonald's.
Be quiet, lad. Carry on, Aldred. Take no notice of your stepson.
Oh, I'm not thinking this, but it's true. Now, you be a good boy, or I shall be smacking you on your bear's head.
I'd like to see that.
Yes, but I'm sure you would. But may we get on? I have other appointments today.
Sorry. Olga, please carry on.
Well, I say to Grandee, I give you money, we go on holiday moon.
Honeymoon.
Ah yes, horny moon.
That sounds more like it.
No, it's pronounced honeymoon.
Yes, honeymoon, not horny moon. I say to Grandee, we shall be like brother and sister. There will be no ebat, for I must save my dev stenost for my real husband when he is to come. I was, as you say, a virgin.
That's not a lie, the next one will be.
Be quiet! No, you will be very sorry! Grandee says to me, no, this would be dishonest. He will agree to marry me, but it will be with all proper consummations.
That sounds more like Grandee.
I'm liking Grandee very much, but I wonder what my mama will say, so I am ringing her. At first she is very cross and says, no. But I say to her, Grandee is so, sexual and you, how you say this?
Sexy.
Oh, yes. Sexy. That is the word. My mother says sexy is no good for marriage. Is he rich? I say yes. She says that is good for marriage. How old is he? And I tell her he is nearly 94 years old. My mother is quiet.
I bet she was.
But she says she will talk to the family for me.
Oh, I'd like to be a fly on the wall at that family conference.
And then my mother is ringing me back, and she says all are happy for me to marry Grandee. First, they are saving £5,000, and second, at 94, my dev stenos should be completely safe.
They didn't know Grandee, did they? I bet your dead line and wasn't safe at all.
Stuart, if you don't shut up, you're going outside.
That's quite right, Gillian. You've just been just like Grandee, aren't you? Just being disgusting.
Grandee was a wonderful lover. You know, he had a huge...
Yes,
Why is this? You should be proud. Are all Thompson men not like Grandee?
Nobody answer that.
It was the most good 2 weeks of my life. And then he say we must our own ways go. I cry. He say no cry, no be foolish. He says young girl like me must have young husband, not old man. I say, but I love you. He says it cannot be true, and we must go on as agreed. I say to him, if he send me away, I will kill me. He say if I kill me, he will never speak to me again. And then we laugh. And we have Ebat for very last time.
What's that?
We don't wish to know.
do.
Oh, I think I can guess.
Yes, I'm sure you can. But we have some very serious matters to discuss here. Now first, a very serious matter. I have been going through Grandee's bank statements, and it seems that £350,000 was withdrawn 3 weeks ago. Now, does anybody have any idea where this money is? I cannot trace the destination for this cash.
I knew it. What have you done with it?
I no tell you again. I not take Grandee's money, you old swallock.
I wish I knew what she meant.
Yes, well, I don't think that's very important. I'll tell you what it does mean. It means that the Inland Revenue will be very interested in this and looking into it seriously, because there will be death duties to pay on that amount. And if anybody has any information about the money, you could give it to me, because there could be accusations of money laundering.
Well, we want the money to be clean, don't we?
Stuart. Was that all of Grandee's cash gone?
No, of course not. Your Grandee was a very wealthy man.
Ooh, good.
I have the complete details of Grandee's will here, but he wanted to give you the main bequests himself.
Hey, it's going to be a bit difficult, isn't it?
No, he left a living will.
Oh, what?
A DVD he made a month or so ago.
Well, are you sure that's legal?
Well, possibly not, but this certainly is.
Oh, Grandee make DVD to say goodbye to me. He's so sweet.
No, it's not that. He wanted you to know what you get.
She knows she's already had it.
Stuart.
Come on, out you go.
Really? Leave him alone. He's just trying to cheer things up a bit. Grandee wouldn't mind, would he? He'd be laughing and joking with him.
Yeah, you got to loosen up, Grandad.
David, will you please do something with your son?
A dance, perhaps?
Really, you're as bad as he is.
I do hope not. Now, Stuart, please be quiet and out of respect for Grandee, and let's listen to his last words.
It's really sad. I can't imagine Grandee having last words. He always had so much to say.
Oh, I know, my love. I miss him too. I mean, the world is going to be a much duller place without him, isn't it?
I must say, I was now looking forward to life which is on a more even keel, more predictable.
Boring, you mean? You almost sound like you're glad he's gone.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry too. I loved you just as much as you did, but in a different way. Look, will you please stop crying?
There, there, Miss Simpson. Be drying your tears.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I'm not normally as emotional as this. Oh.
No. I understand. You are having ebat with Grandee. Once you have ebat with Grandee, you no soon forget, no?
I certainly did not. His behaviour towards me was always exemplary. He was a perfect gentleman.
That doesn't sound like Grandee.
Methinks she protests too much.
How dare you! I can assure you that one could have a perfectly proper relationship without any physical thingy. It was his personality that I found most endearing.
No ebat. So sad. You wanted ebat?
I shall say this only once. There was no ebat. My relationship with Grandee was perfectly proper.
You say so.
I do say so! Thank you. Now, may we continue?
Well, first of all, I want to know if Grandad's going to throw me out.
No, he's not, but do try and behave yourself.
Oh, fat chance. Right, well, let's see this DVD. That's if you're sufficiently recovered, Miss Simpson.
Yes, I am perfectly in control now. I have it here on the laptop. Can you all see?
You know,
Well, this should be good.
just like him to do something like this.
Well, if you're watching this, I must have popped my clogs. It's a pity I can't see you all. I bet you look a comical lot. Oh, I can just imagine it. My miserable son, all in black, with a face like a slapped horse.
Now, look here, I do hope I'm not going to be held up to ridicule.
Confusion, I'm afraid, Dad.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Well, my son, I have something to put a smile on your face. I leave you the big house and all its contents. You don't deserve it or need it. But it was you or the cat's home, and you won by a whisker.
Oh, this is just a farce!
No, we had Gill and Dave. I bet you shed a tear, Davy boy. There's more of me in you than in that tight-assed father of yours.
Really?
I'm leaving you the flat in Bayswater. I bet it's now worth more than the big house. Enjoy it, sell it, or whatever pleases you. It's just as well that flat can't speak. Oh, my. Oh, what tales it could tell. I remember once that, no, sorry, I digress. Now, Stewie and Jem, I'm sure you are both sad at losing your old Grandee.
Yes?
Well, this'll dry your tears. I leave you both £100,000 to do anything you want with. I don't like the thought of you starving in some bedsit. But I'll leave you with this advice. However what it's worth, keep away from drugs. But any other physical adventures that come your way, grab it with both hands. I always did. Yeah, I did, yeah.
Can we have the money now?
I want to travel around Europe. Please, I'll give you the details later.
I wish I could be there. Now, my lovely Olga.
I am here, my Petrushka. I miss you.
No, don't go getting emotional, my pretty girl. I'm afraid your loving enthusiasm just about finished off this old man, but oh, what a way to go! I suppose it was you, being an Olympic gymnast, that made things so interesting. How I shall miss your pretty Zadmitka.
You're making me blush.
Now, my puppet. I leave you the cottage in Norfolk.
Well, I never.
No, I know, Harold, that you always had a yen for it, but whenever you spent even a weekend there, you left the whole village in such a deep depression. I always had to go down there straight after to cheer them all up. So, my lovely Olga, you now have a British passport and somewhere to live. A small reward for all the pleasure that you gave me. Be happy. Now, Gill, you took English at university, so I've left you all my diaries. They go back to when I was 14. They're in the bank. The adorable Ms. S. will show them to you.
Oh, dear devil, it's so
I
adorable.
led a very adventurous life, Gill, as you know. I think my diaries, written up into a book called Grandee, His Life and Times, could make a very interesting reading, and with a little luck, could be profitable. To this end, I've left you £10,000 to cover the publication costs.
Wow, do you know I've always wanted to write a book, but I could never think of a suitable subject.
Well, with Grandee's life, you won't have to worry about making things up.
No, it'd be more of a problem what to leave out.
I trust, Gillian, you will carefully edit these diaries and save the family any further embarrassment.
Oh no, I'm going to let it all hang out, warts and all.
That's it, Mum. Don't leave anything out.
Yeah, especially all those juicy stories.
Grandee has been an embarrassment to me all his life. Looks like it's going to go on after his death, too.
Quiet, please.
Now, Harold, my son, let the family choose something of mine from the big house as a memento. And please include the lovely April Simpson, too.
Do you think I might have have one of those delightful paintings?
What, you mean one of those with Grandee letting it all hang out?
Stuart!
Well, I was only asking. And it'll save me making a copy, won't it, Ms. Simpson?
That's right, Stuart, thank you. Of course, I'd sooner have an original if there's one available.
I think my mother bought at least 6 of them and she put them in the attic. I can't imagine why she didn't burn them.
Oh, no! What a terrible crime that would have been!
Oh, if you say so, but can we get on?
Yes, of course, I'm sorry.
Now, I want my friends at the Cock and Pullet to have a drink with me. I have left provision of £1,000 to go behind the bar. Oh, it is going to be a hell of a night. I'm sorry I shall miss it. Still, that's life. Or death, as the case may be. Now, I've never been a great one for goodbyes, but, well, here goes. I want you to know that I've loved you all. In my own eccentric way. Perhaps I didn't always show it, but I did. Even you, Harold. You were the joy of my life as a child, but we did drift apart as you grew older. I know I was inclined to mock you, but it was an attempt to stop you becoming so pompous. I'm afraid I failed miserably in that. But, well, don't think too badly of me.
I don't. It's just like you said, Miss Simpson. You couldn't help loving him.
He knew you loved him.
Oh, let us hope so. Continue, Miss Simpson.
Of course.
As for the rest of you, I've always had a close and happy relationship with you all. So all I can say is goodbye and good luck. They do say a person is never dead whilst he is remembered and talked about. So go on, tell tales about me, exaggerate, make it up, and then I shall always be with you.
That's it, everybody. Is there any more, Miss Simpson?
No, not really. There are a few minor bequests, but I'll sort them out. However, the missing money does have me a little worried. Its destination has been cleverly hidden. The tax people are not going to be happy.
I do hope this will not be a matter for the police.
Well, I shouldn't think so. I mean, there was no attempt to cover up the withdrawal, and the tax will have to be paid.
Wonder what Grandee was up to.
Well, we'll never know now, will we?
Oh, I'd love to know. I bet it was something exciting, like sex, drugs, or rock and roll. Or perhaps espionage, gun running, gold mining.
Stuart, you're letting your imagination run away with you.
Quite right.
Grandee said we should make up stories about him.
Yeah, Mum. Let's have a look at those diaries. That should give us some ideas.
No, nobody reads them except for me.
Quite. The less people, the better.
But all the good bits will come out, won't they, Mum?
You bet your sweet life on that.
I will let you have copies of the will and the DVD. Will you let me know when it'll be convenient for me to collect my little memento?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to collect something of Grandee's as well.
We could all go together. When do you think, Dad?
Well, whenever you like. Next week, perhaps.
Oh, yes, the sooner the better. Would Monday be good?
Monday will be fine if everybody's happy. Right, so let's get down to it. I want to empty the big house and sell everything as soon as possible.
Are you eager to get your hands on the money, Harold?
Not at all. It's just that there's too much of my father in that house. You wouldn't understand.
I think I do, actually. It hurts to be continually reminded of him.
Yes. Something like that, I suppose.
I'll get that.
Grandee had guns at the old house, didn't he? Could I have one of those?
Well, perhaps an antique one.
Do they work?
Not really. I suppose they might if they had powder and ball, but they're really just ornaments.
In that case, I can't see why not.
Hasn't he got any guns you can get ammunition for?
No,
How do you know?
because you're not getting one.
Oh, why not?
You should get yourself or one of us.
You all think I'm stupid, don't you?
Yes.
What about me? Did Grandee have any girly things?
Well, I think he had quite a lot of your great-grandmother's jewellery. You're welcome to any of that if you want it. Well, that applies to you all. Just take what you want.
Does this mean me too?
Yes, I suppose so.
Are there any old dresses?
Old dresses?
Yes, I love 20s dresses. They give a girl, how you say, sexual privilege.
I don't think you need an old dress to do that.
Oh, you're a little minky, but I'm liking you.
Are you all right, Dave?
Yeah. You're not going to believe this, but Grandee has disappeared.
What? Disappear? What do you mean?
Quiet, everyone. Explain yourself, Dave.
That was the crematorium. When they come to put him on the fire, he'd gone.
Gone? How can he be gone?
Gone. It just vanished. Disappeared.
Well, this is ridiculous. I mean, dead people don't just disappear.
Yeah, well, we saw him go through the curtains into the crematorium.
Yeah, we all did. But they don't put them straight on the fire. They store the bodies behind till it's their turn.
Oh, bloody typical. Even when you're dead, you have to join a queue.
Grandee had to. I mean, perhaps he just got bored. You know what he was like if he had to stand in line.
Oh, that's just like him. My father always had to complicate matters.
Can't blame Grandee for this. Dead.
Look, let's look at this in a logical way, shall we? There are only 3 ways a body can disappear. Either the stupid crematorium staff have mislaid him, somebody has stolen him, or he's just got up and walked out.
Grandee has risen from the dead, like Jesus, to return to my arms. Oh.
Olga, my grandfather was many things, but the Messiah, he was not. No, it's more likely the stupid council workers at the crematorium have lost him.
Well, did they say they'd made a thorough search?
Yep. They had 4 bodies, now they've only got 3.
Well, how do they know it's him that's missing?
The other 3 were women.
Did they examine them? I'm not always sure.
My Grandee could never look like a woman. He had a huge...
Yeah, they're pretty certain.
Grave robbers, like Burke and Hare. This is great. I mean, how many people have had their great-grandfathers stolen by body snatchers?
You can put it in the book, ma'am.
Perhaps, but of course there's always the 3rd option.
What, that he's still alive and left of his own accord? It's hardly likely.
I think it's more than likely. What about that missing money?
I don't get it. What about the missing money?
Perhaps the money is to start a new life.
Oh, now that's quite absurd. My father was nearly 94 years old. Hardly the age to start a new life.
Grandee had plenty of life left in him.
This is true. My Grandee was strong as bull. I never think he died.
You must admit, he did look pretty healthy in that coffin.
If not, he looked dead.
That's because he wasn't moving. Grandee was always on the move. It was really strange to see him laying there, still.
So, you're telling me he quietly got up out of the coffin and walked away?
Oh, the Walking Dead!
Oh no! I'm gonna eat your brain!
No, I don't want my brains eaten.
Don't worry, son, there's not even a snack in there.
Oh, this is getting ridiculous. Look, 2 doctors checked him over. There can be no mistake.
And I have the death certificate to prove it.
Well, where is he then? The crematorium have had to inform the police.
What for?
But to report a dead body, I suppose, stolen.
I do hope we're not suspected. I mean, that would look fine, being accused of stealing my own father's body. It wouldn't go down well at the Rotary Club, and I'm president next year.
But would they believe it?
That
Who on
lot.
earth would?
That lot. They believe anything. They never liked me. Jealousy.
We must get a priest.
What for? He never liked priests. He always called them mumbo-jumbo Johnnies.
The priest would rest his troubled soul.
Look, we're not talking about his spirit, we're talking about his physical body.
Ah, yes. Such a lovely body.
So you say, but now, can we put our minds to the task at hand? What has happened to Grandee's mortal remains?
The problem is, we've nothing to put on the mantelpiece.
What?
His ashes. We've got nothing to put on the mantelpiece.
Look, that is the least of our problems. We don't want his ashes, we want his whole body.
Can't put that on the mantelpiece.
Oh, I don't believe this. Your daughter is a bloody imbecile.
She's your granddaughter too. You can't put all the blame on me.
Thanks very much. Grandee didn't think I was an idiot.
Yeah, but Grandee always did like weirdos.
Wait, don't you stop too.
Quiet! Quiet, you two. Let's have a little bit of hush. Now then, Miss Simpson, does any of this affect the will at all?
No, not at all. I mean, we have the death certificate duly signed. So as far as the courts are concerned, Grandee is deceased. Of course, if any further evidence should come to light, it will be up to the courts to decide on Grandee's life or death.
So as far as you're concerned, you've finished?
Yes, I have completed my duties, and I shall make my way home.
Well, in that case, thank you very much, Miss Simpson.
Yes, thank you for your help.
Thank you all.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye. You won't forget about the picture, will you?
No, we'll all meet again on Mondays or Tuesdays.
Yes, it'll be a lovely memento of Grandee.
Yes, if you say so.
Oh, I do hope your little problem gets sorted out.
Right then, Dave. Dave, I'm going to the crematorium. I'm going to have a word with them. I want some explanation. You must admit it shows a certain lack of security.
Yeah, but I suppose under most conditions they don't have to worry about their customers going walkabout.
Nevertheless, Grandee was in their care and I want them to explain how he's gone missing.
I will come with you to search for Grandee. Yeah, we'll come too.
No, you two stay here in case the phone rings.
You don't think he's going to give us a bell, do you?
Stuart, would you behave yourself?
I am. You don't know. You don't know that he's not going to call. Nobody knows. Nobody knows where he is.
Who knows?
No one at the moment, but I'm sure we will soon be appraised of his location. In the meantime, I shall go and see the police authority. As a member of the committee, I do have a little influence.
That's a good idea, actually. I'll come with you. And you two, behave.
Goodbye. Mwah. Mwah. Goodbye. Mwah. Mwah.
It's been quite a day, hasn't it?
Been like a movie.
Yeah, I thought the funeral was a bit tame, though.
Soon livened up when we got back here, though.
Yeah. You know, I thought Grandad was going to have a heart attack once or twice.
Oh, I liked Olga.
Yeah, so did I.
Oh. Behave yourself. That's your step-great-grandmother.
She doesn't seem like it.
Oh, I know. But it's all really exciting, isn't it? Do you think this is going to be the last of Grandee's stories?
You know, I don't think we've seen the last of him. I mean, look at him. Well,
What?
look. Never fear, Grandee's here.
time for the commercial. Now, as you can see by these two posters, the next thing we're going to do is a musical, old-time musical, and sing-alongs and barracking from the audience. Mind you, we mostly get that anyway. But it'd be very nice if, when you came, you could dress up. You know, in sort of Victorian or Edwardian clothes. Of course, ladies with big hats would have to remove them. But we're looking forward to seeing you then. Hope you've enjoyed yourself tonight. And hope your car's still there. or even better, the gate isn't stuck. Which it was one night when we did the last run. We were here till the next morning. Anyway, thanks ever so much for coming. You've been a lovely audience. Haven't they been a lovely audience? Yeah.